You're a Grey Warden, right?
Where's Father?
Were you in Ostagar?
Can't we go home?
In the Korkari Wilds? My husband and son went there to bring the chant of light to the chastened. But I haven't heard from them since. I am. You've heard of me? Oh? Oh, his lockbox. If you're bringing me this... Oh no. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for bringing this to me. It means a lot to... Maker's blessings upon you.
Sorry. Am I bothering you? I'll try to be more quiet. Those things dragged my mother away. I don't know what happened to her, but I hear her screaming all the time. Everywhere.
How terrible. You poor thing. I wish there was something we could do to help.
And now my brother Bevan, he ran off. I don't know where he is. I'm so scared they got him too. He said something about saving Mother. He's just a little boy. He doesn't understand she's gone.
If he has foolishly run off, then he is no doubt dead. You should get used to that fact.
Nice. Maybe you want to kick her in the head while you're at it.
Shall we comfort her with lies? If she is to face death, better she face it honestly.
I hope he didn't try to go to the castle. Oh, that would be awful. I went to her house. It's by the square. He wasn't there. I searched the rest of the village too. I called and I called, but he never answered. I wonder if he ran off into the woods. I'm so worried. Without me, he has nobody. I understand, I do. I'm just so afraid for him. I'm so scared, Father. What are we going to do?
Silence, girl. Do you want the children to hear you?
But night is coming. The monsters will return and we sit here and wait for them.
We have no choice. We must pray and hope for the Maker's compassion.
I just hope everything will be all right. So many have already died.
Ah! What are you doing? All right, I'll come out. Please, don't hurt me. I'll go back to the Chantry if you want. I didn't mean any harm. It's Bevan. My sister is Caitlin. She's probably at the Chantry looking for me. I can't tell you. It's a secret. You could. Alright, I guess. Father said I could have his sword when I grew up. It was Grandfather's. And Grandfather was a great dragon slayer. I thought, if I was brave like Grandfather, I could use his sword and kill the bad people who took Mother. Thank you, sir. But the sword is too heavy for me. I guess I'm not as strong as someone like you. That doesn't help us now. Caitlin says everyone's going to die tonight. Really? You must be very brave. I wish I was like you. In the chest, in Mother's room, Father gave me a key, but I'm not supposed to give it to anyone. I guess you're right. I should help defend the village, shouldn't I? Father would have if he were here. Oh, alright. Here's the key. I hope you use it to kill a lot of those bad people. I should go back to the Chantry. Good luck.
Bevan said you were the one who found him. I can't possibly repay you. Bevan told me about Grandfather's sword. So you have it then? I suppose it won't go to waste, at least. I have no idea what it's worth, to be honest. And you found Bevan? I couldn't ask you for money.
Oh, how generous we are today, it appears.
That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. How can I ever repay you? The Maker sent you. I just know it. Thank you again.
Have you thought about it some more? Will you help us? By all means. The castle is closed to us, its doors barred. We could storm it certainly, but what would that accomplish? Our numbers are too few. We cannot throw men at the castle walls when they are needed to protect the village. I tried. Our one attempt at an organized evacuation resulted in an immediate attack. Yesterday I found out these creatures attack those fleeing on their own, even during daytime. Whatever lies in the castle wants this village dead. Once the village is safe, we will try to enter the castle to find the source of this trouble. Then you will help us?
How pointless to help these villagers fight an impossible battle. One would think we had enough to contend with elsewhere.
Thank you. Thank you. This means more to me than you can guess. Now then, there is much to do before night falls. I put 2 men in charge of the defense outside. Murdoch, the village mayor, is outside the chantry. Sir Perth, one of Eamon's knights, is just up the cliff at the windmill, watching the castle. You may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle. Of course. Are you suggesting what's happened here is related to Kaelin's death and the Civil War, even Eamon's illness? No, I do not. I arrived recently myself, having heard the news. I know as much as you do now. I really haven't given it a lot of thought, to be honest. It's been a struggle just to survive. But it could be involved with the throne, yes. Our sister was Kaelin's mother. I suppose we've royal blood, but it's a shaky claim to the throne, though still better than Loghain's. And it does mean Eamon could intervene in Loghain's bid for the throne, but let's not leap to conclusions. I would not like to think that anyone would wish this on my brother. He is a good man, and much loved by the people of Redcliffe. And I can't imagine how terrible it must be for our lesser Isolde, and especially Connor. I would not want him to lose his father at such a young age. I have those few who returned from their quest. You know of this, yes? Yes, I question Isolde's decision to send so many knights in search of this relic. But I am a practical man, whereas she is a woman of great faith. Sir Perth was one of the knights sent on this quest. Perhaps you should speak to him if you wish to learn more. Sir Perth insists. He wants me to be with the villagers, so everyone he needs to protect is in one place. I don't mind, to be honest. The point of all this is to protect the villagers, and I can do that best here. This is the last line of defense, should things go amiss. We could bring some men in to stand beside me, but I'd rather keep the monsters away from the villagers if possible. I do not know. They seem to be walking corpses, men with rotting flesh that continue to attack even with the gravest injuries.
Undead, spirits possessing the dead. There could be several causes behind such a thing, none of them pleasant.
Hopefully we can find the source and stop it before it causes any more damage. With luck, we'll also find Eamon and be able to help him. Very well. Luck be with you, my friend.
So you're the Grey Warden, are you? I heard they all died with the king. So you say? A damn Qunari could walk up and say he was a Grey Warden. I wouldn't know the difference. We aren't gonna turn aside anyone who wants to help, though. Don't take me for being an ingrate or nothing.
Well, we do want to help however we can. You can trust us.
Name's Murdoch, mayor of what's left of the village, providing we aren't all killed and hauled off to the castle tonight. I hope you're right. I've been trying to hold us together, but it isn't easy. Anyhow, you're here, and they tell me you're in charge. We need what little armor and weapons we got repaired, and quickly, or half of us will be fighting without either. Owen's the only blacksmith who can do it, but the stubborn fool refuses to even talk. If we're to be ready for tonight, we'll need that crotchety bastard's help. His daughter, Valena, is one of the Alessa's maids, so he hasn't heard from her since this whole business started. He demanded we attack the castle, break down the gate, and force our way in. I said it was impossible, but he wouldn't listen. He's locked himself in the smithy now. I can't force him to do repairs. He said he'd rather die first. We could use some extra bodies. Having a veteran like Dwin in the militia would help a lot, but he flat out refuses. He's a trader, a dwarf, lives near the lake. Locked himself up in his home with some of his workers, he has. Says he doesn't need any of us. We could use somebody with his fighting experience, but he won't come out. Shouldn't you be trying to reason with Owen? Don't drink with him. That's how he sucks you in. Just my luck, our success hinges on the most foolish drunk of a smith ever to grace the Maker's lands.
Go away. Curse you. Leave me in peace. You've already taken everything out of my stores. There's nothing left. Huh? Who is that? What do you want? I've been through enough. That's so. Well, if Murdoch wants more weapons, you can give him the same answer I did. He can make them himself. If you didn't notice, the smithy is closed, the forge is cold, you've come to the wrong place. All right. But I don't know why you're so determined. Here, I'll get the locks.
Maker's breath. What is that smell? It's like someone set a brewery on fire.
Somebody's been drinking.
So I let you in. You wanted to talk. Now we're talking. Mind telling me who you are? A Grey Warden, is it? It takes all kinds. Anyhow, my name's Owen, though you might already know that. Care to join me as I get besotted? Or is there something in particular you wanted? My girl, Valena, is one of the Alessa's maids, and she's trapped up there in the castle, but the mayor won't send anyone for her. She's been my life since my wife passed on 2 years ago. Now she's dead, or soon to be. I don't care what happens to me or the village, or anyone! Why not? It's not like we're going to live past the night anyhow. Or are you going to save us? Is that so? Maybe it's the drink talking, but you almost sound like you believe that. It'd do me the world of good to think maybe someone like you could go in and find her. Provided any of us live through the night. If you look for Valena, I'll reopen the smithy and make some repairs for the militia. I can do that much. It would be better than going to my grave wondering. Not good enough. Murdoch said the same damn thing, and I didn't believe him either.
You were asking a great deal, you wretched little man.
I want a promise. Promise me that you'll look for her. That you'll bring her back to me if you can. Nothing besides your conscience. You got one of them. Then I'll take what I can get and leave the rest to the Maker's grace. I'll accept that. It's something to hope for, at least.
Oh, lovely. Shall we next begin rescuing kittens from trees?
Right then. It seems I have some work to do relighting the forge, and I suppose I'll have to find some iron. Maybe at the mill. Oh, Murdoch just better send his men here as soon as possible if I'm gonna get to all these repairs and get them done by nightfall. If you need anything done, well, just let me know. I've got a lot to do now, so you'll have to excuse me. Hey, I see you found my hiding place. I stuck some old equipment in there before Murdoch could get his hands on it. I don't think there's anything you'll need in there, but it's hard to say. I was in a bit of a rush when I filled it up. Not if I'm going to repair the equipment they have. That stuff is old, anyhow. Yeah, let me open it for you. I have the key.
Well, it looks like Owen's finally doing the repairs we need. The damn fool is falling over a drunk and still manages to make smithying look easy. Good enough, I say. I'll inform Bantigan the militia is ready to fight. We'll give those bastards a welcome they won't soon forget. You'll find him and his men at the mill by the bridge, to the north. I have a good feeling about tonight.
Wonderful. Intruders. I hope you have a good reason for breaking and entering into my home. No, have to run the place. It's not like I could stop people like you anyway. The name's Dwin. Pleased to meet you. Now, kindly tell me why you're here. So what? You're recruiting for him? I'll tell you what I told Murdoch. I'm not risking my neck for this town. Thanks, but I'll take my chances in here. Everyone else can run around in the open waiting to die. So, that's what it comes down to, huh? Fine. I'll go, if you want me out there so badly. Don't thank me. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this because of you. Go tell Murdoch he won. And I better see you out there in the square when those creatures come.
The repairs are underway surprisingly quickly, considering how drunk Owen is. We may just make it. Thanks for persuading him to come out here. He's going to be a great help. I just know it. There's not much time before sundown. The men's spirits are high for now. Far better than I expected, to be honest. Dwin's presence makes the men a bit more confident. It helps to know a veteran is on our side tonight. Since you convinced Owen to start repairs, we're pretty well armed now. That is a relief, let me tell you. Overall, I'd say the militia's very ready to fight. Never thought I'd say that, but there you go. Is there anything else? I have a good feeling about tonight.
Another doomed soul come to drown their sorrows here, I see. If you came here for a drink, you'll have to talk to Lloyd. He's got a vice grip on the spigots. I'm just here to keep the boys from mutiny. Later on, yes. Lloyd will lock himself in the cellar, and I'll go to the chantry. Are you fighting tonight? That's good to hear. I didn't know that. Not much. He's very quiet. Says his name's Beric and he's here to meet his brother, but I think he's lying. He's a bit creepy. What business? Without the castle soldiers, the only customers we have are local, and they're all in the militia with no money to spend. The few with any money are here, but it's not enough to justify working. Lloyd's a greasy pig, and if I didn't need this job so badly, And go where? With no money and no prospects, I just end up somewhere else working for someone worse. You mean after the fighting's over? I'd really like that. What would I have to do in return? Well, I can't promise that, but thank you. I don't really know what to say. Keep safe.
Not looking for company. What? How did you know that? Well, that's my name. Why? No reason. I just didn't know how you knew my name, that's all. Oh, I guess that, makes sense. Look, I don't know you, and I don't want to. I was just told to... just leave me alone. Nothing. Nobody told me to do anything. Just because you're a Grey Warden doesn't mean you can go around threatening people. I just, overheard it, that's all. If you'll excuse me, I want to get to the Chantry before the sun goes down. But I never... Oh, all right, I'll tell you. Just don't hurt me. This is more than I bargained for. Look, they just paid me to watch the castle and send word if anything should change. But they never said anything about monsters. I haven't even been able to report anything since this started. I'm stuck, same as you, I swear. A tall fellow, I forget his name. He, said he was working for Hal. Arl Rendon Hal. He's an important man, Terran Loghain's right hand. So I didn't do anything wrong. Just to report any changes, honest. All I could send word about was the Arl getting sick. After that, monsters started coming from the castle. I don't know anything about these creatures. When the Arl got sick, I got scared that people would think I was involved. But I swear I don't know anything about it. They sent me to watch. Maybe they knew the Arl would get sick. I don't know. Here, this is a letter from them. It has instructions and everything. Keep it. Do whatever you want with it. I just thought I was serving the king and making a bit of coin on the side. You have to believe me. Oh, all right. I'll do it. Thank you for your mercy. I won't forget it.
I can't believe Lloyd won't even give us some free ale. A time like this, and all he thinks about is turning a profit.
Did you expect any different? That bastard's always been cheaper than an ante from the hall.
Here we are defending the village, and he don't even have the decency to help us out.
I was drunk for the last 2 fights, and I wouldn't have it any other way. If you fought those things, you'd know.
Lloyd is charging us for coin we don't even got anymore. Nobody's working right now. We're all just trying to survive.
What difference does it make? He won't care.
Hello there, friend. Can't say we've ever met before. Stranger to the village, I take it. Haven't had many travelers lately. All this nonsense is bad for business. Bet you regret coming, yes? Oh, you know, evil creatures, impending doom, civil war, and the Arl's dead in the castle. Makes you thirsty, don't it? So, what'll it be? You are here to drink, I hope. Why shouldn't I? They may not have much coin, but I'm not giving it away for free. I never thought of that. Maybe I could try it for a bit. Right then, you men over there. Drinks are on the house. All militia drink for free.
Oh, you're a saint, Lloyd. Ha ha!
If them creatures don't kill me, I swear they'll bleed me dry. Something else I can get for you? Name's Lloyd. So, why'd you come to the village now? The roads can't be all that safe, not with a war brewing. Well, you must have been mighty surprised. He's not exactly talkative these days, eh? Something else I can get for you? Fine. Make them quick. Why? When them creatures attack, I lock myself in the cellar, just batten the hatches and wait it out. What's the point in getting myself killed with all the rest of them? If that makes me a coward, then I'm a coward. But Van Tegan said we didn't have to. He said... Fine, I'll go. But all of this better be here when I get back. I don't want the place drunk out from under me. Blasted bloody...
I see you got that bastard Lloyd to join the militia. It's about time he did something to help out. I guess this puts me in charge. Poor Lloyd will have an apoplexy just thinking about it, eh? Fair enough. Let me see what Lloyd stored in the back. You can help yourself.
So what's the deal with you and him anyway? Dare I ask?
Him? Him who? Is this supposed to mean something to me?
You know exactly who I'm talking about. Mr. Let's Make Kissy Faces over there.
My. You are jealous, aren't you? Did I take your favorite Grey Warden away from you?
What? I'm not jealous. I'm horrified.
Those blushing cheeks of yours tell a different tale.
These blushing cheeks are terrified that you'll suck all the blood out of them once you're finished with him.
If I feel the need to suck on anything of yours, Alistair, you'll be the first to know.
That was so not what I meant.
Perhaps we should go and tell him together about your touching concerns. Perhaps he'll pay more attention to you if you ask nicely.
Uh-huh. I think we're done here.
Done before you started, in fact.
Greetings, Grey Warden. I am as relieved as Van Tegan is to see you here. I must admit that I do not quite know how to address you. Is my lord sufficient? I am Sir Perth, until recently in direct service of Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. For now my charge is defending the village from these evil assaults. Would that I had chosen not to seek out the urn of sacred ashes. Perhaps I would have fended off whatever evil befell the castle, or perhaps I would be dead. Ah well, with the Grey Warden aiding our defense, perhaps all is not lost. No one told me of this. Oil, you say? How much exactly? Assuming that would hurt them. Yes, I see what you have in mind. That might be effective, if used carefully. Yes, excellent idea. I'll send some men to collect the oil. We'll use it to slow these creatures down. Have you anything else to ask me in the meantime? We have sufficient armor and weapons, but my knights are too few to stand against the monsters without assistance. Perhaps you could approach Mother Hannah in the Chantry for some holy protection against these evil creatures. Otherwise, I do not know what else you could provide beyond your own talents. We're as prepared for the onslaught as we could possibly be, all things considered. That gladdens my heart to hear it. Ask me whatever you wish. As you wish, Grey Warden. Make a watch over you.
You are very beautiful, Morrigan.
Tell me something I do not know.
But you are always dressed in such rags. It suits you, I suppose. A little tear here, a little rip there to show some skin. I understand.
You understand I lived in a forest, I hope?
Maybe we could get you in a nice dress one day. Silk. No, maybe velvet. Velvet is heavier, better to guard against the cold in Ferelden. Dark red velvet. Yes. With gold embroidery. It should be cut low in the front, of course. We don't want to hide your features.
Stop looking at my breasts like that. 'Tis most disturbing.
You don't think so? And if it's cut low in the front, we must put your hair up. Show off that lovely neck.
You are insane. I would sooner let Alistair dress me.
It'll be fun, I promise. We'll get some shoes too. Shoes! We could go shopping together.
You know, maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about this, but I've something to ask you. Chances are we'll be heading to Denerim soon. And when we're there, I wonder if we might be able to look someone up. I'm not talking about a friend. Exactly. And no, it's not that sort of friend either. The thing is, I have a sister, a half-sister. I told you about my mother, right? She was a servant at Redcliffe Castle and she had a daughter. Only, I never knew about her. I don't think she knew about me either. They kept my birth a secret after all. But after I became a Grey Warden, I did some checking and, well, I found out she's still alive. In Denerim. No. I thought about writing her, but I never did. And then we were called down to Ostagar, and I never got the chance. She's the only real family I have left. The only family not also mixed up in the whole royal thing. I've just been thinking that maybe it's time I went to see her. With the blight coming and everything, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to see her. Maybe I can help her. Warn her about the danger, I don't know. Could we? I'd appreciate that. If something happened to her and I never went to at least see her, I don't know if I could forgive myself. Her name is Goldana, and I think she remarried but still lives just outside the alienage. If we're in the area, then, well, it's worth a look.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind? My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it. Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother. Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andrastis Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
Yes? So, full of questions, are you? Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be? Oh, she is certainly old. Have no mistake of that. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience. No doubt such a tale has mutated much over time and telling. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire. As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her. Many centuries before this land was even named Ferelden. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed. The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge. That was not the point. Conobar had no honor, so she would not have him. Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. The demon the legend tells of came later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see, chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies. The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began. The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her. I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has colored her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all. You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too. The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well. How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery. I suspect, even to her. Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless. Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.
You are a stranger amongst us, yet you still agree to defend our village in its darkest hour. We are most grateful to you. The Maker smiles on those who aid his children, regardless of their beliefs. But I do not wish to irritate you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am revered Mother Hannah, head of this chantry, which for the moment is a place of refuge for these poor villagers.
How awful this must be for you all. Is this everyone who's left?
All those who cannot defend themselves, yes. They are terrified of tonight's attack, and I fear these walls will not keep them safe. What can I do to help with your task? It is the sturdiest building in the village. The women, elderly, and children will stay here during the battle, while the militia and knights protect them. They set up a barricade outside the chantry to keep monsters from getting inside. If anything gets in, Ban Tegan is our only defense. Please, have mercy. Help these people. Do whatever you can. I have done all I can for them. I pray for them each night and seek the Maker's forgiveness for their sins before they face their deaths. What Sir Perth seeks is something that is not in my power to give. I can pray with them and give them my blessing, but Sir Perth wants me to call upon the Maker to shield them from evil.
Well, can't you just tell him the Maker will watch over him? Morale is a powerful thing, you know.
You mean you want me to let them think the Maker protects them in a real sense? I will not lie to them like that. I suppose if they believed in the Maker's power, that belief would inspire them somewhat. It just seems like trickery. Very well. If it keeps them alive, I will do what I must. I have a number of silver-cast holy symbols. Tell Sir Perth that he can have them, and that wearing them will confer the Maker's protection. Now please, let me tend to these poor folk. I must do what I can, and I suggest you do the same.